After Sharon's charges are dropped, Daniel loses it, and Adam and Nick consider life without Victor. Chelsea asks Adam if he is certain he wants to do this now as they enter their new house, the old ranch. Last night, his father was shot. Adam claims that his grandfather is a fighter. Chelsea encourages him to acknowledge that it was frightening and to concentrate on that rather than the transfer. In order to be on the property when Victor returns home from the hospital, Adam wants the three of them to settle in. "I know, it's a lot," Adam remarks as Chelsea surveys the area. "She can redecorate," he says. "Perhaps just a little sage," she jokes. They both chuckle. Adam glances at the window's end for Newman. He had no idea that Nick, Victoria, and Abby would inherit that place and continue the tradition. "Welcome home," says Chelsea. Chelsea believes it will take some time to get comfortable there, but Adam wants her to feel at home. She wants a small room that doesn't echo and one that's near to Connor. Adam examines the chessboard that Victor has. She reassures him that he need not worry because his father is now secure. According to Adam, his father survived after taking a bullet for Nikki. He will leave this planet at some point, and he is unsure if he will be prepared for it. He was extremely afraid of what transpired, but he was also proud of it. Chelsea claims that he will stop at nothing to keep Connor safe. Adam responds, "Or you?" Claire inquires about her grandfather as Victoria walks into the tack house. According to her, he is recuperating and resting well following surgery. "He will return home shortly." Claire exclaims, "He might have passed away. He loves Nikki so much that he risked his life by jumping in front of her." Victoria assures her that they are now safe. "You are, too." When Kyle knocks, Claire opens the door for him. "Last night was terrible," she tells him. He gives her a hug. Nick informs Sharon at Crimson Lights that Victor recovered well from the procedure. They complain about Jordan and Ian working together. Nick claims that Ian's father beat him, which is why he is in the morgue. Those two are no longer able to harm others. Now that Mariah and Claire are safe, Sharon is relieved. According to Nick, Jordan and Ian passed away knowing they had lost everything. Now that he's gone, Sharon is confident Mariah will thrive, it will only take time. Now that they're gone, Nick is certain that the mending process will be simpler. Michael enters at that moment. He has information regarding Sharon's alleged murder. Michael informs Nick and Sharon that she will no longer face charges. Michael says, "You're cleared of everything," as Daniel enters. He's curious about what's happening. Daniel is informed by Sharon that there has been a confession in Heather's case. "Remember what you heard about Ian Ward?" Daniel takes a seat. He claims that his mother informed him of Ward's past relationships with Paul and Nikki. Nick claims to have gotten out of jail by manipulating the system. He is the one who killed Heather, Sharon informs him. Daniel is unable to comprehend this. They clarify that he intended for Mariah to turn to him by removing Sharon from her life. Jordan had returned for Claire, and he was working with her. According to Nick, they both passed away last night. A few months ago, Sharon became their first victim. She is deeply regretful for her role in Heather's death, and it tears her heart that she lost her life. Daniel finds it incomprehensible that Ian would come clean. Michael speculates that he might have wanted to repent before facing his creator. Nick believes he intended to offend them. Jordan followed suit. Daniel is unsure of how he will explain this to Paul. He might never forgive her, Sharon is certain. This was not about Heather, it was about her and Mariah. She contributes to the cause even though she is innocent. According to Nick, she is not accountable. Sharon claims that she framed Daniel. She is, Daniel agrees. He will not forgive her for that. Nick tells Daniel that none of this will make his suffering any less, but from Sharon's perspective. Daniel notes that she buried bloody towels in his flat, lied about a fight between him and Heather, and disposed of Heather's body in the river. According to Nick, she was under the influence of drugs, which made her erratic and unfriendly. Even he saw that she wasn't acting like herself, he reminds Daniel. Michael notes that Sharon would have been found not guilty if the case had gone to trial. According to Nick, Heather merits peace and justice. Hopefully, they can get closer to it now that Ian and Jordan are dead. Daniel will require a bit more time. Michael moves over to answer a phone call. Daniel is informed by Nick that Victor was shot while battling Ian Ward. The hospital is where he must go. Daniel reassures him that he won't lose his mind over Sharon. He's just depressed and frustrated. Sharon is no longer the target of the ire. "You're a good man," Nick says. Sharon expresses gratitude to Daniel for listening to them. She is aware that she has no right to ask him for anything, but she will try her hardest to make up for what she has done to him and Lucy, and she hopes that one day he will forgive her. Victoria asks Claire and Kyle to have a conversation in the tack house before heading upstairs for a shower before returning to the hospital. "Who's in the hospital?" Kyle asks. "Claire will explain," Victoria adds. She informs him that Jordan returned as they head to the couch. She returned for her after being released from prison. Kyle desires to go pick up Harrison. Claire assures him that he is protected. She claims that Ian Ward assisted Jordan in leaving prison. They had the same objective since he wanted to be involved in Mariah's life again. "Are you okay?" Kyle asks. "All in one piece," she says. "Are they locked up again?" Kyle wonders. "They're both dead," according to Claire. Kyle apologizes to Claire for Jordan's treatment of her. He finds out that Ian shot Nikki after her aunt consumed poison, and Victor was hit by the gunshot. After they fought over the gun, Ian was shot and killed. That she went through all of that and he was unaware of it astounds Kyle. Claire claims that the fear persists despite Jordan's passing. Kyle is confident that things will improve with time. "How did she get the poison?" he asks. "Was it brought there by her? Did Jordan anticipate that you would be the one to pass away last night, Claire?" According to Claire, the poison was covered by her insurance. Kyle questions her belief that she could get her back. Claire believes that during her incarceration, she persuaded herself that she belonged with her rather than her family. She discovered that everyone she cared about was in problems once more when she spotted her in town. She informed her that she was stuck in a world that would never be hers and that she missed her. She wanted to hear that, she said. She didn't want her to run away or cause further harm. That she carried all of that on her shoulders astounds Kyle. "You don't need to maintain your composure." According to Claire, her aunt will never harm them again. Kyle assures her that she is amazing. She requests that he hold her. Adam tells Chelsea at the ranch that it's just the truth and that he didn't say he would take a bullet for her to make her react. He and Victor have more in common than he realizes, Chelsea tells him, and that's a good thing. Victor adores his family. Adam and Chelsea are excited to live with Connor. They arrange to meet up later after Adam advises him to visit the hospital. Nick enters at that moment and yells, "Adam." They appear to have an open-door policy, Adam thinks. According to Nick, he knocked. He was asked by Nikki to gather items to bring to their father's hospital room. When he finds out that Chelsea is moving in, she makes it apparent that they won't be getting back together. Nick informs Chelsea that he is worried about her living near her ex while Adam leaves to answer a call. Chelsea has expressed her emotions to Adam. Nick claims that his brother is aware of his desires and that he now believes they are achievable. Nick is informed by Chelsea that this isn't about romance or Adam. She has established clear limits. She'll let him know if he goes too far. Nick is always glad to assist her. When Adam returns, they say they had been talking about the house's suites. Chelsea urges Adam to send Victor her best effort and accompany Nick to the hospital. Daniel informs Sharon at Crimson Lights that Heather is no longer there, and that everything he considered regarding how it occurred is also gone. It was because she was the target of an attack. In hypnosis, Sharon talks of remembering the hand on her shoulder. She regrets spending that evening at his residence. She would have done anything to change the situation. Daniel responds, "Sharon, I agree." He leaves after telling her once more that he will need a little more time. Claire praises Kyle for staying at the Tack house. She has a large family. According to Kyle, Jordan is not her family, and he admires the Newman family's immense affection. He respects her as well and inquires as to whether she has omitted anything or is hesitant to share it with him. Claire claims that after discussing it with her mother and grandma, they decided to overlook it. She must respect their desires. Kyle adds he's available to listen if she decides to alter her mind. Claire is still struggling to accept the reality of Jordan's death. She will never be able to harm anyone again. They raise their teacups to that. It's settled, Michael informs Sharon as he meets her at Crimson Lights. She is too far away to hear him. He restates that she is free and clear and that the paperwork is signed. She wonders if she is worthy of that. According to Michael, she was a victim. Ian tormented her. She caused Daniel's family to experience that agony. The attorney maintains that she was not at fault. She is grateful that he took on her case. He didn't do it for one very important reason. According to Michael, Phyllis made it through, and he believes their friendship will as well. He requests that Sharon take some time to recover and think about what Ward has done to her. All Sharon is concerned with is Daniel. Now that he is unable to address the guilty party, how is he to move on? For him, there is no resolution. You never, ever get over a senseless loss like this. It keeps returning to shatter your heart once more. I don't want anyone to go through that kind of pain. Daniel remarks, "You're out there somewhere, aren't you, Heather?" as he perches on a bench in the park. If she had been the DA, he questions whether she would have dismissed the charges. She left for no apparent reason, and he is unsure of his ability to function without her. He reflects that he was the messy creative kind, whereas she was steady and sensible. It was amazing when everything worked out for them. There doesn't seem to be any more magic. He sobs because he knows he must provide Lucy with security and comfort, but he is unsure if he can manage without her. It seems to him that this nightmare will never stop. Nick and Adam talk about Chelsea moving into the ranch house in the automobile. It makes sense to Nick that she would want to support Connor. Adam urges his ex to end the relationship since he believes he shouldn't try again. What would have occurred if they had lost their old guy is the topic of conversation. Nick is unwilling to consider it. What's stopping you from saying it? Why do you want to know what would have occurred if your father had passed away? According to Adam, things might have gone differently. Everything will fall apart once he leaves. According to Nick, he won't be fired from Newman Enterprises. Adam is referring to the family. According to Nick, he is as much or as little a member of the family as he merits. Because of his behavior, he and Vic either accept or reject him, and it won't matter if their father passes away.